There comes a time in every soul's journey when the noise of the world grows too heavy to carry, when the constant hum of thought, obligation, and performance begins to dull the quiet truth living underneath it all. And in that moment, often subtle, often unplanned, something inside you longs for the open air. You feel it as a pull, not toward escape, but toward remembrance. The whisper says, "Go outside, walk, listen." The world beyond your walls has something to show you, something your mind has forgotten, but your heart still remembers. When you first step outside, the world greets you without judgment. The sky doesn't care about your title. The trees don't measure your worth. The earth beneath your feet asks for nothing, only that you notice it, that you return. Each step forward is an unwinding. The tension in your chest begins to loosen. The chatter of your mind, the same stories that loop endlessly in the background, start to fade into the distance like an old radio signal losing strength. You walk not to arrive anywhere, but to leave behind what no longer belongs. The wind brushes your skin and carries something ancient, the same breath that moved through the forests long before names, language, or thought. And you realize, this is not new. This is home. You are not a visitor here. You are part of the same living tapestry. Every leaf, every bird call, every grain of light filtering through the trees is an expression of the same still presence that breathes within you. The forest is not around you, it is with you. It mirrors the calm that has been waiting beneath the noise of your mind. At first, the walk is noisy, not because of the world, but because of the mind's resistance to stillness. It wants to fill the silence, to explain, categorize, compare, remember. You may notice how quickly it tries to turn even the beauty of nature into thought. That's a beautiful tree. I should come here more often. I wonder how old that stone is. But slowly, the rhythm of walking begins to change something inside you. Step by step, the constant commentary loses its grip. Breath and movement start to synchronize with something older, something wiser. The earth becomes your teacher. Its pace is steady. Its wisdom is simple. It rushes for nothing. As you walk, you begin to see how restless the mind can be, always seeking something to fix, prove, or chase. But nature requires none of that. It simply is. The trees do not ask for permission to exist. The river does not justify its path. The wind doesn't need to be noticed to move. This effortless being, this quiet confidence of existence, begins to reflect in you. You start to remember what it means to live without resistance. The thoughts still come, but they soften. They lose their sharp edges. The distance between you and them widens. And within that distance, in that pause between thought and awareness, something luminous begins to glow. Not a light you can see, but a knowing you can feel. It hums gently behind your eyes, beneath your ribs, within your breath. It is the same presence that animates the wind and the trees. And as you keep walking, you realize that the path you follow is not just through the forest, it is through yourself. You pause for a moment, not because you are tired, but because you feel the stillness deepening. A shaft of sunlight slips through the canopy, touching the earth in golden silence. Particles of dust float like tiny stars, suspended in the beam. The air is thick with peace, so full of presence that words feel unnecessary. This is the sacredness of stillness. The world has not changed, your attention has. You have stepped out of the dream of thought and into the immediacy of being. You realize that silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of everything real. The forest is alive with subtle motion, a leaf turning, an insect tracing the air, the soft creak of a branch. But beneath it all is a profound quiet, the same stillness that exists at the center of all things. Here, you begin to remember the truth you've always known, but rarely felt. You are not separate from life. You are life, witnessing itself. The forest outside mirrors the forest within the tangled thoughts, the silent roots, the hidden light that filters through when you finally stop resisting. And in that realization, your breathing deepens, your heartbeat slows. You feel the pulse of life around you, merging with the pulse of life within you. There is no boundary, only awareness. To walk in nature is to practice the art of listening, not with the ears alone, but with your entire being. You listen to the sound of the wind through the leaves, and you notice that the silence underneath it is the same silence inside you. You listen to the water flowing over rocks and realize it's speaking the same rhythm as your breath. You listen to the birds singing high in the canopy and sense that they, too, are part of this great conversation of existence. Life is always speaking, but the language is silence. Intentional listening reveals the unity beneath diversity. The boundaries between self and world begin to dissolve. You are no longer a person in nature. You are consciousness recognizing itself as nature. The old need to analyze or understand fades into reverence. You start to feel instead of think, to witness instead of interpret. And in that witnessing, gratitude arises naturally, not as a practice, but as a recognition. Thank you becomes not a phrase, but a state of being. You see how every sound, every scent, every breath is sacred. You don't need to control life, you only need to receive it. This is the subtle teaching of nature. When you listen deeply, the universe stops being something outside of you. It becomes your reflection. As the path continues, you notice a soft, inner glow, not physical light, but awareness itself becoming visible. This is the essence of awakening. To recognize that the same intelligence animating the forest also animates you. Each step becomes a prayer. Each moment of presence, a quiet surrender. You realize that walking is not a means to reach somewhere. It is a meditation in motion. Your feet touch the earth gently now. Each contact feels like an offering, a promise to remember where you came from. You sense that this light, your inner essence, has always been walking beside you. Even in moments of confusion or sorrow, it never left. It was only covered by noise, by the storm of identity and fear. But here, in the silence of nature, it begins to shine again. You see how nature teaches by being what it is. It doesn't struggle to be perfect. The fallen leaf, the crooked branch, the storm passing through all are part of one living harmony. You, too, are part of that harmony. You don't need to fix yourself to belong to it. You only need to see clearly that you already do. And as this knowing deepens, compassion arises naturally. You begin to see the same light in everyone you meet, even those lost in their own storms. Their noise is temporary. Their essence is timeless. You understand now that the path of awakening is not about leaving the world. It's about walking through it with open eyes, to see divinity in the ordinary, to feel peace in the impermanent, to walk lightly knowing you are always home. Eventually, you come to the end of the path, or perhaps the beginning. The trees open to a field of light. The wind moves through tall grass, carrying the scent of earth and renewal. You stop walking not because the journey is done, but because you realize it never truly began. You've been home the entire time. Nature didn't give you something new. It revealed what was always there. The inner and outer merge completely now. The forest and the self are one continuous awareness. And as you stand in that vast stillness, a truth settles quietly into your heart. You do not walk through nature, Nature walks through you. The same light that moves the clouds and grows the trees breathes within you, looks through your eyes, feels through your hands. You remember now, the light you were seeking was never lost. It was simply waiting for you to be quiet enough to notice. In this silence, all searching ends. There is only presence vast, tender, eternal. You begin the slow walk back, but something is different now. The noise of the world will return the voices, the screens, the demands, but you carry something they cannot touch. You carry stillness. You carry light. You carry the knowing that you are not separate from life. You are life, conscious of itself, and that is enough. As you step out of the forest, the sunlight greets you like an old friend. You smile not because you've found something new, but because you've remembered what you've always been.